everyone. Welcome to Making a Difference with Meg Inspires. This is our second weekend since we started this program with Meg Inspires, and my name is Meg Thomas, and I'm going to be your host for this episode. Now, last week we started with how to change your thinking pattern. We said for you to be able to make a difference in your world, one of the things that is crucial is having the right mentality, is changing your thinking pattern. So last week we talked about the big picture thinking, and we also looked at creative thinking. Now for today, we're going to be looking at strategic thinking. Interesting, isn't it? So in strategic thinking, you see the future and make plans for it well in your today so you can have control of your tomorrow. Amazing. So I sit in my today, I project, I lean into the possibilities the future could have to offer. I make plans for it so I don't get into my future and lose control. I get into my future and I still have the control as an individual, as an organization. I'm not going to be taken unawares. Why? Because I had thought about, I had a strategic thinking and I had a plan in place. Now, why do you have to think strategically? Simply put, to be able to set overall goals for your business, for your career, for your organizations, for your department, for your life as a whole. And how is this being done? You need to step back from your busy schedule. You need to step back from your day-to-day operations, and ask yourself questions like, where is this business headed? Where is my career headed? Where am I going in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? Where is the direction of the growth? All right. So I'm quickly going to take us through the different skills that is required for strategic thinking. Number one skill is the analytical thinking. Here you analyze variety of inputs. This is crucial to creating a strategy that aligns with the current reality facing the business. You must be able to analyze everything on the table for you to be able to come up with the best strategy that will help you, that will be in line with the current reality facing the business. Number two skill is the communication skills. And I said here, the ability to communicate complex ideas, collaborate with all parties, whether it's internal or external, and ensure that everyone is aligned and working towards the fulfillment of the set goal is central to strategic thinking. You must always remember that. You need communication skill, you need an analytical skill, and you need communication skill. Now we move on to the third one. The third one is problem solving skills. You need to understand that strategic planning is oftentimes used to solve problems. So you're able to identify the problem, because sometimes some people don't even know that there is a problem. Some people don't even have the ability to identify that there is a problem. So for you to be able to exhibit these problem solving skills, you must be able to identify that there's a problem. You must understand the problem. All right? So you identify the problem, you understand the problem before you will be able to come up with a strategy that will help solve the problem. Number four is planning and management skills. So you have the analytical skill, you have the communication skill, you have the problem solving skill, and you have the planning and management skills. Here, strategy is not just about thinking of a solution. It involves implementation too. So what happens after you have identified the problem, you've understood the problem and probably checked out possible solutions to the problem? Do you just leave it there? No, you have to go further, into implementation phase, where the problem is actually dealt with, where the problem is being resolved. So the solution you have discovered out of identifying, understanding the problems and all of that, you now implement it. Now, this is a phase where you need the planning and management skills. All right, so we're quickly going to move to how you can improve the skills, because someone is asking, so how do I improve the skills? Number one, you ask strategic questions. Remember, in one of my videos, I said only those that ask questions will get answers. You don't ask questions, you don't get answers. So you must learn to ask. But in this case, you must ask. You don't just ask any question. You ask strategic questions. All right? Questions that will help you, that will exercise your planning skills. Okay? Questions that will help you spot opportunities. Now, questions like, how can we strategically position ourselves to enter a new market? Now, that's an organization asking that question. Okay? What's the direction for growth for each of our product and services? If your organization is into products, manufacturing products and offering services at the same time, or it's just doing the products and the other one is doing services, you're asking questions. What's the direction for growth for each of the products or the services that we are offering? Questions like, where will the organization's growth come from in the next 5 years? You must be able to be strategic in asking these questions. All right, and then that leads us to the next point. After asking the questions, what next? You observe and reflect. All right, you observe. Remember, we're talking about ways you can improve strategic thinking skills. We have talked about the skills. We mentioned analytical skill, we mentioned communication skill, we mentioned problem solving skill, and we mentioned planning and management skills. Now we're looking at how to improve the skills. And number one, I said we ask strategic questions. Number two, you observe and reflect, because you don't just ask questions and you stop there. So you observe and reflect. In addition to asking strategic questions, you must answer and address them skillfully. So after asking the questions, you must be able to answer and address those questions skillfully. That's you observing and reflecting, okay? For example, your company, your organization, your product, you suddenly just discover that new customers are attracted to your products. So you want to find out why this set of new customers are attracted to your product, because it's going to help your marketing strategy and the product development. And ultimately, it's going to meet the needs of your customers, because you'll be able to serve them better if you understand why they are attracted to your product. So you don't just go ahead and manufacture product. You're not going to be the one buying the products. So you don't manufacture what you need. You manufacture for your customers. So it is important that you get to know what they need. And if you discover that they're being attracted to your product, they're being attracted to your service, you need details. You need to know why, so that you can go back and work on your marketing strategy and product development to serve them better. You get feedbacks, all right? So number one, you ask questions, strategic questions. Number two, you observe and reflect. Number three, you consider opposing ideas. Once you've landed on the strategy, question your assumptions, put your hypotheses to rigorous testing. You just know you have exhausted, your possibilities. Now, under this subheading, consider opposing ideas, you're trying to you're ensuring that you don't overlook some possibilities. So you ask the strategic questions and come up with your assumptions, and then you put your hypothesis to rigorous testing. You don't just run off with one assumption. You try as much as you can with, multiple solutions to see which one will best fit or align with the organization's goals. All right, and then finally, for this video today, you embrace formal training. I said, first of all, you ask strategic questions. Number 2, you observe and reflect. Number 3, you consider opposing ideas. Ensure you exhaust all possibilities. You're not overlooking some of them, because it might just turn out to be that the one you're overlooking is the right one that will fit in. Okay? So you ensure that you exhaust all the possibilities you came up with on the table. And then fourthly, you embrace formal training. And one of the ways of embracing formal training is what we're doing right now, listening to this video. Okay? Going on a research, because you want to know, because you want to improve on your strategic thinking skills. So if you really would want to make a difference from where you are, you must learn to cultivate a strategic mindset. Yes, you must learn to cultivate. And I gave you a list of how you can improve on the skills. So thank you very much for your time today, and we are going to meet again tomorrow by 4:30. Please send in your comments and your questions. God bless you.